Hello and welcome to Prepspot. In this video we are going to know about an in-depth analysis of a critical development in South Asia that has significant implications for regional security and geopolitics, the recent train hijack in Pakistan's Balochistan province and its connection to the long-standing conflict in the region. On 11th March 2025, the Jafar Express, a passenger train running a 600-kilometer route from Quetta to Peshawar, was attacked in the strategic Bolan Pass near Sibi city, approximately 160 kilometers from Quetta. The incident occurred around 1 p.m. local time, when the train, carrying over 400 passengers including women, children, and security personnel, was hijacked by militants associated with the Balochistan Liberation Army, or BLA. According to initial reports, the attackers claimed to have killed 6 military personnel and took hostages. While the BLA's statement mentioned 182 hostages, Pakistani police later clarified that about 350 passengers were safe, with some reports indicating that nearly 70 individuals, including women, children, and the elderly, reached a nearby station on foot. Security forces responded with what they described as a complex operation, engaging in fierce clashes with the militants in a region known for its rugged terrain and a series of 17 tunnels that provide strategic cover, making the Bolan Pass a critical and challenging operational theatre. This incident is not an isolated event but rather a part of the broader, deep-rooted conflict in Balochistan, a region that, while constituting 44% of Pakistan's total land area, is home to only about 5% of its population. The Baloch people, an ethno-linguistic group with a rich cultural heritage that spans across Pakistan, Iran, and Afghanistan, have long felt marginalized by the Pakistani state. Despite their region's abundance of natural resources, including significant reserves of natural gas, minerals, and strategic ports such as Gwadar, the Baloch have experienced severe economic neglect and political suppression. These grievances have been compounded over decades by cultural and political marginalization, as well as disputes over resource allocation that have left the local populace feeling exploited. Historical context reveals that the Baloch insurgency is not a new phenomenon. It dates back to the early years of Pakistan's formation in 1947, with major insurrections recorded in 1948, 1958-59, 1962-63, and 1973-77, the latter of which saw approximately 12,000 deaths in a brutal crackdown by the government led by Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. The current phase of conflict, often referred to as the fifth insurrection that has been ongoing since 2004, has seen increased activity by militant groups such as the BLA, whose operations have intensified in recent years. The BLA, established around 2000, is an ethno-nationalist militant organization that seeks the secession of Balochistan from Pakistan. Operating from safe havens in Afghanistan, the BLA has developed a reputation for carrying out high-profile attacks on both military targets and civilian infrastructure. This group has been designated a terrorist organization by several nations and international entities, including Pakistan, China, Iran, the United Kingdom, the United States, and the European Union. Their activities have escalated over time, and the train hijack is the latest manifestation of their campaign against what they perceive as a repressive state that has long exploited the region's resources without providing due benefits to the local people. In this particular incident, the choice of location was as strategic as it was symbolic. The attack on the Jafar Express occurred in the Bolan Pass, a region characterized by its mountainous terrain and an intricate network of tunnels, which provided the militants with natural cover and tactical advantage. The train itself, known for its long 30-hour journey with stops at 30 stations, has been a target in the past. Previous incidents include a track explosion last year that halted service for 2 months and a suicide bombing at Quetta station in November that resulted in 30 deaths. The recurrence of such attacks highlights both the vulnerability of transportation infrastructure in conflict zones and the persistent threat posed by militant groups in Balochistan. It is important to understand that the conflict in Balochistan is driven by multiple, interrelated factors. Economic marginalization plays a critical role. Despite being endowed with significant natural resources, Balochistan remains one of the least developed provinces in Pakistan. The local economy is heavily reliant on agriculture and livestock, contributing to 47% of its economic output, yet the province's share in major development projects like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, is virtually negligible, merely 0.5% in some estimates. The sense of disenfranchisement is further exacerbated by the perception that resources are extracted and profits are funneled to more dominant regions, leaving the local Baloch population impoverished and politically disenfranchised. Moreover, the conflict has taken on an international dimension. The BLA's activities are not only a domestic issue but also a matter of regional security. The involvement of external actors such as China, which has invested heavily in the CPEC to connect its western region of Xinjiang to Pakistan's Gwadar port, has added layers of complexity to the situation. The Baloch view the CPEC as another instrument of exploitation, where local populations see little benefit from projects that displace them and disrupt their traditional livelihoods. Incidents involving Chinese workers and infrastructure, including attacks that have led to casualties over the past decade, further fuel anti-government and anti-CPEC sentiments. In addition, neighboring Iran and Afghanistan play crucial roles. Iran shares a significant portion of its territory with ethnic Baloch populations and has occasionally cooperated with Pakistan against rebel forces, while Afghanistan has served as a sanctuary for militant groups like the BLA, complicating Pakistan's efforts to secure its borders. From a security perspective, the hijacking of the Jafar Express has exposed vulnerabilities in Pakistan's transportation and security systems. The fact that over 400 passengers, including vulnerable groups such as women and children, were aboard the train at the time of the attack has raised serious questions about the efficacy of current security measures in Balochistan. In response to the attack, Pakistani security forces launched a large-scale operation described as complex in nature. Although initial reports indicated that several militants were killed and many passengers rescued, exact figures remain unclear. This uncertainty underscores the chaotic nature of the incident and the challenges faced by security agencies in rapidly regaining control in a region marked by rugged terrain and a history of insurgency. For students and competitive exam aspirants, understanding the multifaceted nature of this conflict is essential. The Balochistan conflict is not simply a matter of isolated acts of terrorism. It is a deeply entrenched struggle for self-determination, influenced by historical grievances, economic disparities, and external geopolitical interests. Key terms such as nationalist conflict, proxy conflict, and transitional governance are central to comprehending the dynamics at play. The current incident is a vivid illustration of how regional disputes can escalate into events with international ramifications. Moreover, the historical pattern of repeated insurrections, from the first insurrection in 1948 to the ongoing insurgency since 2004, demonstrates that the underlying issues have never been fully resolved. The cycle of violence has left deep scars on the region, and the recent hijack is likely to further complicate any attempts at achieving long-term stability. In discussing the incident, it is also important to highlight the role of key actors. Ahmad al-Shara, who was appointed as the new president of Syria in a different context, is not directly related to this incident, but similarly, in Pakistan, the transitional government faces the enormous task of reconciling with various armed factions while attempting to stabilize the region. The BLA, on the other hand, has emerged as the most vocal and active militant group in recent years, and its actions are driven by a blend of nationalist fervor and a deep-seated sense of injustice. Their use of modern communication platforms like Telegram and Rumble to disseminate propaganda has allowed them to maintain a significant degree of influence, even as they are designated as a terrorist organization by multiple countries and international bodies. As we look at the broader implications of this incident, it is clear that the train hijack in Balochistan is not just a local security issue but a matter of strategic concern for the entire region. The attack has the potential to destabilize an already volatile province and could serve as a catalyst for further escalation if not managed effectively. The incident has prompted calls for increased international intervention, enhanced security protocols, and a renewed focus on addressing the underlying grievances of the Baloch people. Humanitarian organizations have raised alarms about the potential for a worsening humanitarian crisis, as repeated acts of violence in the region threaten to displace more people and further strain the resources of neighboring countries, which have already been grappling with the challenges of hosting large numbers of refugees. The conflict in Balochistan also has significant economic implications. The region is rich in resources, yet the benefits of these resources have not been equitably shared, leading to widespread discontent among the local population. The underdevelopment of Balochistan, despite its vast natural wealth, is a stark reminder of the economic marginalization that has fueled the insurgency for decades. In addition, projects associated with the China-Pakistan economic corridor, while promising substantial infrastructure investments, have often failed to deliver meaningful benefits to the local communities. This disparity has only deepened the sense of alienation and has provided fertile ground for militant groups to recruit supporters and justify their actions. Internationally, the train hijack and the broader conflict in Balochistan have drawn attention from major global powers. China, which has significant investments in the region through the CPEC, is particularly concerned about the security implications of persistent instability. Similarly, regional actors such as Iran and Afghanistan are monitoring the situation closely, given their historical and ethnic ties to the Baloch population. The United States and European nations, which have designated the BLA as a terrorist organization, are also engaged in diplomatic efforts to mitigate the conflict and prevent its spillover into wider regional instability. These international dynamics underscore the fact that the issues in Balochistan are deeply intertwined with global strategic interests, making the resolution of this conflict a matter of international urgency. In conclusion, the recent train hijack in Balochistan on 11 March 2025 represents a critical flashpoint in the long-standing conflict between the Baloch people and the Pakistani state. Driven by historical grievances, economic marginalization, and external geopolitical influences, this incident is a stark reminder of the complexities involved in addressing insurgency and achieving sustainable peace in the region. For those preparing for competitive exams, it is essential to understand not only the immediate details of the incident, such as the location, the nature of the attack, and the casualty figures, but also the broader historical, economic, and geopolitical context that underpins the conflict. This comprehensive perspective is crucial for grasping the multifaceted challenges that continue to shape Balochistan's turbulent landscape. Answer this question in comments. The correct answer will be given hot and pinned. Lastly, we just want to let you know that we are a newly emerging online platform for competitive exams. Creating educational explainer videos like these requires a lot of effort, money, and time. If you like these videos and want us to excel and create videos in all categories of competitive exams, then you can consider supporting us with a one-time donation through the Ko-fi platform and also by becoming a member through Patreon. This will help us create more such informative educational videos in the competitive exams space. So, one last time, subscribe and share this channel with all your friends who are preparing for competitive exams. And also, follow us on social media platforms. The links are given in the About section of the channel and also in the video description. So, see you in the next video.